What's up, guys? I'm just making a video today on how to change a wheel cylinder for a 95 Pontiac Firebird. And some cars are similar. Most GM cars will probably be similar, around the same year and stuff. They're all pretty much all wheel cylinders for drum brakes are about the same. There's very little change in between different cars and stuff. But this one's been leaking on the side. You could rebuild them, but I just rather buy a new one because it feels kind of stiff anyways. Like on the inside it's kind of grindy feeling and stuff. It doesn't feel very smooth, and I'm just going to replace it. But in order to take these off, on this particular car there are two bolts in the back holding it on, which are 11 millimeters, and then the brake line for the brake fluid is an 11 millimeter. So I'm just going to go ahead and break those off, and we should be able to pull it off from there after all that. It may take a little bit of effort because these have been on for a long time, so that one wasn't too bad. You want to make sure to loosen your brake line first, which I already have. It wasn't too bad either, but you want to make sure to do that first, or else if you loosen the bolts first, this brake cylinder will be moving around on you while you're trying to loosen it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my brake line the rest of the way off before I loosen both bolts up. And you'd want to make sure you have something to stop the fluid from running out, so it doesn't run all your fluid out. Which I'll go ahead and take my new one, my new wheel cylinder. So here's my new one right here. And they look the same, so I'm good on that. But normally you can take this little piece right here and use that hole right there, to slide over that brake line to stop from the fluid leaking. So I'm going to try that. I've seen other people do that, and I'm going to try it, see if it works for me. It's just a little rubber grommet like thing to keep dirt and stuff out of this piece and the protective threads. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and take the brake line completely off this time. And hopefully this will stop it, because I don't think I have anything else around me to stop it. It shouldn't be like pouring out. You know, there'll probably be a little pressure behind it to start with, of what pressure is left in there. But once that's out, it shouldn't be pouring anymore. It'll be dripping slowly. So just like that, just put the little piece, slide your fitting down, and put that little piece, just slide it over, and it's a tight fit, and it'll keep from any fluid leaking out. You can't really see back here, but all I got left to take out is this bolt right here, and another one on this side, and it should come out. And I did finally get me a tripod for my camera, so a little small one. It wasn't but $1, so I decided to get it. And you will have to bleed your brakes after this, after putting it on, which that isn't too bad. So I pulled it out, and it leaves that hole right there. Here's what the back side of it looks like. And again, you want to check again, make sure your parts line up. Which is these do. And you'll want to take this new one right here. As you can see, these the little rubber piece that goes over your bleeder valve. I don't know. Oh, let me see something. Yeah, you could use that little piece that come out of that as your bleeder valve cover, keep from dirt and stuff getting in there. But I think I'm just going to use the one that come off the other one, because it still feels good, you know, and it's a little bit shorter and it fits on there better than what that did. Well, it doesn't exactly fit it, so yeah, I'm just going to use this. This is a bleeder valve cover. That's probably what it's meant to be used for anyways, you know. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyways, let me get the camera set back up here. And it's just a reverse process, pretty simple. It just goes back on the same way it came off. It's not hard to do, pretty much anybody can do it. The bleeder valve, I believe, is about an 8mm, 7 to 8. If I could find the 8 or 7 of anything. Alright, a 5/16 fits it good, so 5/16 fits it perfect actually. So that's what I would use. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. It actually went back in there easier than what it did coming off. It's probably easier to go ahead and start your line. Get it started first. You don't want to tighten it down just yet, but just get it started in the back of your wheel cylinder. And then you'd want to go and do your bolts. So as you can tell, I got it back in there, and I'm having a problem with these wanting to stay out. They're supposed to stay in, but about like that one is. But anyways, once I get to bleeding them and stuff, they'll do better. And again, you can't see anything back here, but I got the 2 bolts started, and I started this one first. I just threaded it in there by hand. You don't want to tighten it just yet. You'd want to wait until you get these tightened so you can get a good tight grip on that one so it doesn't come off and leak or anything. And then once you get all those tightened and stuff, you just put your all your brake shoes back on and stuff, and all the parts of those, and you'll want to put your drum on. And then you don't want to try to bleed them before the drum's on, because then your these will come out further than what it should without your drum on there, and then your brake pads will be sticking out further, on the sides, you know. Once these come out, if you just bleed them without that drum on, then they'll come out to the side further, and then you won't be able to slide your drum on. You'd have to loosen your bleeder valve and then push the brake shoes back in to compress these back in so you can get that drum on and then bleed them from there. And so you want to make sure your drum's on first before you bleed them. But you always, when you bleed the brakes, you always want to start with the wheel furthest from your reservoir, which my reservoir is on the front driver's side of the car. So I'd want to bleed that back brake over there first. Then I would do this one on this side, then the front passenger side, and then the driver's side as the last one to bleed. And you may not have to bleed the front brakes after this, but I normally do because sometimes I still get air. The air gets back into the reservoir and stuff. So I just go ahead and bleed them all while I'm at it. And that's pretty much all you have to do. Like I said, all I got to do is go back and tighten all these up, and I'm pretty much done. So if you have any questions, just ask. See you later.